People online are retiring in their 30s. No boss, no alarm clock, just freedom.
Sounds amazing, right? But is it realistic for anyone?
Today, we're breaking down the FIRE movement. That's financial independence, retire early, and finding out whether it's an inspiring dream or a different lifestyle.
We'll explain what FIRE really means, the different versions of it, the pros, the cons, and who it's actually right for.
By the end, you'll know if FIRE is a path worth following or just something to steal a few ideas from.
Let's start simple. Financial independence means having enough money invested that your assets can pay for your lifestyle, whether you work or not.
And retire early just means you choose to stop working for money before the traditional retirement age. Some people do it at 40, some at 50, and some just want the option.
So you could say FIRE isn't about quitting work, it's about having the freedom to choose.
The idea really took off in the 2010s thanks to blogs like Mr. Money Mustache and Reddit communities where people shared how they hit financial independence by saving aggressively and investing.
For a lot of people, it was a reaction to burnout, tired of living paycheck to paycheck, tired of consumer debt, and tired of the idea that happiness only starts at 65.
Exactly. FIRE said, what if you could buy your freedom decades earlier by being intentional with your money today?
But not everyone in the FIRE community has the same goal. There are actually different flavors of FIRE, and they fit very different personalities.
First up, Lean FIRE. This is for people who live very frugally. Think minimalist apartments, secondhand everything, and maybe living on $25,000 or less per year.
It's about maximizing savings and cutting expenses to reach freedom as soon as possible, even if that means a simpler lifestyle.
Then there's Fat FIRE. This is the opposite. People chasing Fat FIRE want financial independence without giving up their comforts.
They aim for a higher annual spending goal, maybe $80,000 or $100,000 a year, so they need a much bigger portfolio.
And then there's Barista FIRE. That's for people who semi-retire.
They have enough investments to cover most of their expenses, but still work part-time, often in a lower stress job, sometimes literally as a barista, just to keep benefits or stay social.
It's like the middle ground between full retirement and full-time grind.
Each type has the same foundation, saving, investing, and lowering expenses, but the target lifestyle changes the number you need.
Which brings us to the math, because this is where FIRE goes from philosophy to something measurable.
The FIRE movement is built on something called the 25 times rule. Here's how it works. Whatever you plan to spend each year in retirement, multiply that by 25, and that's roughly how much you need invested to retire.
That comes from the famous 4% rule, the idea that you can safely withdraw about 4% of your investments each year without running out of money over 30 years.
So let's do an example. Let's say you plan to spend $40,000 per year after you stop working.
Multiply that by 25 and you get a target of $1 million.
If you spend $60,000 per year, you'd need about $1.5 million.
Of course, it depends on your country, taxes, inflation, and whether you plan to earn side income, but this gives you a ballpark.
And if you're wondering how people reach those numbers, it's by saving aggressively, often 50% or more of their income, and investing consistently.
Not everyone can or wants to go that extreme, but even if you never fully retire early, adopting FIRE principles can transform your financial life.
Because the real secret isn't just the 25 times formula, it's the mindset. Spend intentionally, invest automatically, and give every dollar a purpose.
Let's talk about why FIRE has such a passionate following.
First, freedom. You're no longer tied to a paycheck. You decide what to do with your time.
Second, control. Instead of hoping your boss or the economy takes care of you, you build your own safety net.
Third, flexibility. You can take a sabbatical, travel, start a business, or just enjoy slow mornings.
And maybe the biggest one, peace of mind, knowing you're not one bad month away from financial disaster.
Some people say the moment they hit financial independence, their stress levels dropped even if they kept working, because now it's by choice, not necessity.
It's not about money for money's sake. It's about buying your time back.
Now let's look at the other side, because FIRE isn't easy and it's not for everyone.
The first challenge, extreme savings. To reach FIRE quickly, many people try to save 50, 60, even 70% of their income.
That can lead to burnout, especially if you're constantly cutting back or feeling guilty about spending.
Second, lifestyle trade-offs. Some people realize they reached financial independence, but sacrificed years of joy to get there.
There's also the boredom factor. If your identity is tied to your career, quitting in your 30s can feel aimless.
And of course, there are financial risks. Inflation, healthcare costs, and living longer than expected can all make your plan shaky.
That's why many people choose Coast FIRE. They save aggressively in their 20s and 30s, then coast by letting investments grow while working less.
FIRE doesn't have to be all or nothing, you can customize it.
Exactly. The goal isn't to live on rice and beans forever. It's to build a life where you don't depend on a paycheck to survive.
So who's FIRE actually for?
It's great for people who love planning, tracking, and optimizing their finances.
If you're naturally frugal, or if the idea of freedom excites you more than status symbols, FIRE can fit you perfectly.
It's also great for high earners who can save big chunks early on.
But if you absolutely hate budgeting, or you can't imagine cutting back on lifestyle expenses, you'll probably struggle with it.
And that's okay. You can still aim for financial independence without necessarily retiring early.
That's actually what we do. We're focused on FI, not RE. We want the option to work less, not the obligation to quit.
Exactly. Because freedom isn't about never working, it's about never being forced to.
So, is the FIRE movement realistic for you?
It depends. For some, it's the ticket to freedom. For others, it's just a reminder to spend more intentionally and invest consistently.
Either way, the goal isn't early retirement, it's financial control.
You don't need to retire in your 30s to live life on your terms. You just need a plan that gives you choices.
We'd love to know, would you actually want to retire early or just have the option to? Let us know in the comments.
Hey,
we're the money-wise couple.
We're not financial advisors, just a regular couple who
paid off our debt, invested our money, became financially independent,
and we're here to help you do the same.